after Jade Cargill was assaulted. Guilt from Liv and Raquel, but Bianca and Naomi aren't having it. Some comeuppance here.
Hey guys, we're here at the Pink Square Circle. We'll talk about why the women's division is frustrated in WWE. You guys get the likes as we come to the Pink Square Circle. We're going to go over a list of women I believe that are frustrated and where the booking has just gone wrong. Let's go down the list, shall we? Now, we got the whole Bianca Belair, Naomi, who attacked Jade Cargill. Now, there's been speculation. There's been Charlotte Flair, Naomi, Bianca, Jakar Jackson. Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez is the most recent one. Now, this has been going on since Jade Cargill got attacked back in November. We know that Jade Cargill had an injury, and it was a good way to write her off TV. So since they wrote her off TV, it was very in question what was going to happen to Bianca and Jade Cargill as the women tag team champions. Did they have to vacate it? Who was they going to keep the belts? But it turned out that Naomi ended up taking Jade Cargill's spot. They defended the belts, and Naomi was able to win the match alongside Bianca, and they were the new tag team champions. And Naomi, her first championship since she's been back in WWE. Now, we know recently with the whole Nick Aldis letting Bianca and Naomi know that, as shown at the scene of crime, it was Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez. Naomi and Bianca, once they stood on business with that, they went to Monday Night Raw like they said. They went and attacked Liv Morgan while Raquel Rodriguez had an Elimination Chamber qualifying match against Roxanne Perez. So they attacked her. They was coming. They want answers and everything. But we know that Liv Morgan and Raquel was not going to take that line down. They was going to come back and attack Bianca and Naomi like they did on SmackDown. And more than likely, they're going to have a WWE Women's Tag Team Championship feud, which more than likely Bianca and Naomi will lose. But I've heard recently they said that Bianca, she said on SmackDown, she texted Jade Cargill trying to find out answers, and Jade Cargill has not texted them back. This storyline has been going all over the place, seriously, and it's getting to the point where we're not interested anymore. Always want it over with. So hopefully they get to the bottom of that and get that done with, because it's getting real irritating. Now, next up, let's talk about Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch has not been on WWE TV since May of last year, 2024. She lost the WWE Women's World Championship to Liv Morgan at King and Queen of the Ring PLE. Now, Becky Lynch, she was originally supposed to take some time off. Due to the injury of Rhea Ripley, she had to forego her planned vacation, and she came back early and won the title. Now, when she did come back and put Liv over and let her win the title, Becky Lynch has not been seen or heard from that much. She was not scheduled at the Raw Network's debut, nor the Royal Rumble, so it's skeptical what's going on. Now, Becky Lynch, I know she's been doing some acting. I know she's been filming stuff, but is there any creative for her? Is there any direction for Becky Lynch? That's the question. Do they have anything for her, or is Becky Lynch frustrated? Maybe she doesn't agree with the booking that WWE's doing. Now, I know she's doing the whole Star Trek thing. She said this on social media, I believe Instagram to be correct. But that's also skeptical. But I do know as well, it's just something has to eventually come to fold. Like, everything's all over the place with the women's division. Some people we know that should be booked right or booked, period. They're not. So let's go on to another person. We're going to Alexa Bliss, who recently just returned at the 2025 Royal Rumble PLE in the Women's Royal Rumble. She came back after maternity leave. It's her first time being in a WWE setting in, 2 years since Royal Rumble 2023. I talked about this in another video. They were skeptical over the contract. She had took Shotzi's spot in the Royal Rumble. She wasn't even scheduled. I heard they came down to finally getting an agreement for a contract hours before the Royal Rumble. Now, she was supposed to originally be rumored on Monday Night Raw, But then Alexa Bliss got moved to SmackDown. She's in her dark character with the Lily and everything. She's supposed to be with Wyatt 6, but yet we have seen Wyatt 6. What's going on with that? Now, she had one match. She did qualify for the Women's Elimination Chamber by defeating Candice LeRae in the qualifying match, which was good. But I don't know. What's the direction of Alexa Bliss? Where does she go from here as far as booking goes? And it starts to question, during the contract negotiation, what's going to be a part of Alexa Bliss' new deal now that she's back? Will she be putting over talent? Will it be any good direction with a character? But we'll see more about what Sportskeeda Bench has said about Becky and Alexa here.
On Saturday, which came quite literally out of nowhere. There were reports that she may not be coming back to WWE. They reached an impasse. Just a brief timeline. Alexa Bliss was supposed to come back on the Raw Netflix premiere. That ended up not happening. They had merchandise. They had creative ready for her to go. Her team said, hey, though, we want a new contract. WWE is like, but we've been paying you 2 years of maternity leave and injury time. Why don't you come back on your old deal? And she was like, no. And they're like, all right, stay home. And it was at an impasse. Late in the week, obviously something changed to the point where she signs a new contract, a 5-year deal on Saturday, flies into Indianapolis, and takes Shotzi's spot in the Nazi spot. So the fact that she
all she had to do was the entrance.
That was it. Got a hell of a reaction. Great.
Got the biggest reaction of the night.
That's correct.
Yes, she did. People were genuinely thrilled to see her. And anybody who paid attention to the news reports sitting there going, I thought she wasn't coming back. And then, Bill, we get that comment from Michael Cole on commentary who said, I thought she wasn't coming back. The internet says she wasn't coming back, which only lends credence to the conspiracy theories of people in our line of work don't know what the they're talking about, Bill, which it doesn't do us it does us a disservice because as far as we know, all the reporting on Alexa Bliss was accurate. She was supposed to come back on the 6th. There was an impasse. Apparently it took Mojo Rawley and his team calling WWE and saying, get a damn deal done with this girl. What are you doing? And a deal gets done at the last minute. She gets flown in. She's there. Everything was accurate on the reporting all the way through. Yet you get WWE commentary who's like, oh, well, derp sheets wrong again.
Yeah. Well, they're basically being truthful where they're saying the internet people don't know what they're talking about. And that's why no one knew that she was coming back. There was no leak whatsoever.
Until like 2 hours before the Rumble. PW.
Yeah, they did. They didn't know. They actually reported it. PW Insider reported it.
But if you're already there, if you're out enjoying the festivities, like you had no clue.
Right.
No idea.
Right.
SP3?
Caused them to have to send cheese to Sean Ross Sapp as an apology.
Yeah.
And this was more of a vague way to do it. And literally, once again, WWE had to basically take Sean Ross Sapp out of their bashing of dirt sheets because Wade Barrett had to comment on Sean Ross Sapp's post to be like, oh, we're not talking about you. We're specifying against dirt sheets or whatever. WWE's full of crap. That's my
I was built after others on Sportskeeda Bench. Me personally, with Becky Lynch and Alexa Bliss, as far as they're concerned, with the whole new girls coming in from NXT, like they said before, and, new girls just coming into WWE. I think Becky Lynch and Alexa Bliss at this point in their careers, it's just mainly going to be putting over other talent, make them look good, whether it's for a championship or a big feud. I think their time has passed because we have to realize Becky Lynch and Alexa Bliss both started on the main roster about 10 years ago. So their time has passed, but we're going to see what happens next with both of these women here. Let's move on to another person. Let's talk about Chelsea Green, their inaugural Women's United States Champion. Now, when she won the championship, she got a huge pop when she won a Saturday Night's Main Event, defeating Michigan in the finals in New York. Now, it seemed like it was good, but since she's won that championship, she really has been done on storyline-wise. All she do is hide behind Piper Niven. She cheats, do whatever she can. She's in this long, drawn-out feud with Michigan. Nothing's happening. I mean, unless Chelsea Green gets a real contender, someone that's a threat to her title, this championship run has not really gone anywhere, so I don't see it. If anything, I see the Women's United States Championship as simple a prop. something to make Chelsea look good. It's basically she got this run because all the work she's done at WWE by putting people over, popular character to pop everything. But as far as elevating her opponents and elevating that title, I just don't see that with Chelsea Green. And I believe that maybe there's some frustration with Michin. Michin did say not too long ago she don't think she's getting over with the crowd. She said that as well. But we got to see what happened with Chelsea Green in the Women's United States Championship picture. Now, another thing here, we got the Pure Fusion Collective. Well, at least it was 3 of them. We had Shayna Baszler, Zoe Stark, and, of course, Sonya Deville. Now, Sonya Deville, we know recently was just released from WWE, or should I say, contract was not renewed by WWE. Now, they were supposed to be one of the top stables on Monday Night Raw. They were supposed to, get over, have a good pop. But really, before Sonya Deville was released, they really didn't have that much ammo. They really had nothing going there. Now, could be some frustration with booking. It looked like Sonya Deville, before she was not with WWE, it looked like she may have been frustrated at times by looking at her. I don't know, just something wasn't right with the whole Pure Fusion Collective. And, of course, we know that Sonya Deville is no longer with the company. But that stable really didn't go anywhere, not as much as we thought they would. They looked good on paper, but it just nothing really went anywhere. And then, honestly, if you ask me personally, I liked Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark better as a tag team, just the 2 of them, well before Sonya Deville came back from an ACL injury and got to the picture and became a leader, and then they known as Pure Fusion Collective. Hopefully, not as just Shayna and Zoe again. Maybe they could do something with these 2 because both of these women are really, really talented, and I can stand for them if nothing goes well with them. Let's go on to Candice LeRae. Candice LeRae, she was one have a good tag team with Indy Hartwell. They did their thing for years on NXT. Then they was on Monday Night Raw. Then later SmackDown before Indy Hartwell was released by WWE. Man, just talking about her being gone still stings. That Indy Hartwell's no longer with the company. She was such a great talent, was not utilized right. But since Indy Hartwell's been gone, her and Candice, they don't have that. She's not in that 1-2 punch tag team anymore like she was with Indy Hartwell for many, many years, the chemistry and everything. And I believe that Indy Hartwell, her being released, it did, of course, put a stain on her. It did hurt Indy Hartwell, no doubt about it. But I would have to say, too, that her being released not only hurt Indy Hartwell, it also hurt Candice LeRae as well in the process. I mean, let's look at it. Ever since Indy Hartwell's been gone, Candice LeRae, they're no longer a tag team. She's pretty much been known as Nia Jax's lapdog, her little puppy that follows her around. And Candice LeRae was not like that when she was with Indy Hartwell. So hopefully they do something better with Candice LeRae. And I know she's the women's speed champion too, but, let's move on from there. Now we have Alba Fyre. Alba Fyre, who was one half a tag team with Isla Dawn, who's also released. She's recently was on the main event show. If you guys know, that show still comes on. It comes on Peacock, I believe, Wednesday. But Alba Fyre, she made a return, I think, last week on main event. And it's the first time she's been shown as a solo act. She's no longer in a tag team. We're so used to seeing her with Isla Dawn. We're not going to see that anymore. It's going to be about to Alba Fyre on her own. Now, I like Alba Fyre. She's a good talent and everything. I have nothing against her. I know she did her thing in NXT UK, but she had a good 1-2 punch combo with Isla Dawn, similar to Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell. So I believe that with Isla Dawn being gone, like I said, things are going to be the same for Alba Fyre unless they have something really big for her. I just don't. Hopefully, they do something with Alba Fyre later. Hopefully. Now, another tag team I want to talk has not been on television much. We're going to talk about Kaden Carter and Katana Chance, the life of the party. Now, they're another premier tag team, good 1-2 punch combo. Now, they did their thing in NXT for years. They was the NXT Women's Tag Team Champions before they got rid of the NXT Women's Tag Team belt and merged them with the current Women's Tag Team belts. Now, they have good chemistry, good teamwork and everything. But the thing with these two, we haven't seen them. We forget they're even around sometimes. I mean, I do know that the only most recent thing they did, they were also the women's tag team champions while they was a part of Monday Night Raw. Thing about that is that run they had was very, very short. I don't even think they had those championships, maybe not even 90 days. They only had it for a month, maybe 2 months. And I know if you guys don't know, that's how much people don't see them. They were recently moved to Friday Night SmackDown a couple weeks ago. Nick Aldis talked to them in the office and shook their hands saying, welcome to SmackDown. But since then, we have not seen either one of these two women on TV. So I know that's frustrating too, getting moved to a new show, being drafted, and they're not even really shown like that. Now, we've seen them on NXT a couple times, but a talent like this, you don't want to leave on the shelf not doing nothing or leave them in catering. You just don't want to do that. So we got to see what else is going on. But the booking with the women's division, they says a lot of frustration leads to WrestleMania 41. I could see why, because there are a lot of women on the roster that are talented. They're either in very useless storylines, they're not being elevated right, or they just not even being on TV at this point. And then some, unfortunately, they end up getting released despite being a great talent. So that's all I have for why the women's division is frustrating WWE. Hopefully WWE booking, creative, management, executives get this going. Not just Triple H, all of them get something going with these women, because I think WWE comes down with a clear case of they have too much women on the roster and they don't know what to do with them. Soon, guys, check out the content here on Pink Square Circle. Until then, guys, I will see you guys later.